Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you're not having a great day, but you're a Newcastle United fan, I've got a feeling that this may well just cheer you up, because Newcastle United have released a statement earlier on today confirming that the owners are placing an additional investment in the club. The Newcastle United ownership of PIF, PCP, RB Sports and Media have together invested a further £70 million into Newcastle United, which actually brings the total investment to over 450 million. You know those owners who have been here for just over a year now? 450 million. It's a good time to be a Newcastle fan. Not only are we smashing it on the pitch right now, but off the pitch, there's something to smile about every day. There is so much going on. Totally out the blue statement released by Newcastle United that the ownership group makes further investment in Newcastle United. And I'm looking over there because I've got the statement in front of me. We are going to get into it. We've got some words from Darren Eales as well that I want to get into. But yeah, it's a good time to be a Newcastle fan. So let me know your thoughts on the investment down in the comments below. And you might think straight away, January window. Are we spending that money in the January window? Well, no. In fact, it's not quite that. We'll get into it in this video, as I say. But I do think we will spend in January. If you think that we are currently third place at the time of recording, will be top 4 come the end of the calendar year, going into the January window. We've got a great bargaining tool for any people that we speak to. We are in a shout of Europe in some way, shape or form, and that will certainly help us in the January window. And I do think we will spend in the January window, which I've no doubt we will talk about a whole lot more as we approach the January. But this is not quite about that. This is more to do with the day-to-day operations, the infrastructure. We've seen the work that's going on at the training ground right now, what we are trying to improve on. We've seen, I've done videos on it, the refurbishment work going on at St James's Park itself. You know, things that I'll say, in my opinion, you can let me know your opinions down below. In my opinion, that the previous ownership didn't look at, wasn't bothered about, left out to dry. St James's Park needed a lift. And we talk about the training ground currently being refurbished, but also the talk of, hopefully, a state-of-the-art training ground. And it's just, they're putting money into things that is benefiting the club as a whole. It's benefiting the fans. You talk about the training ground, it's benefiting the players that we have, but it's also hopefully going to help new players come in. You know, it's a big picture. You know, January, to a degree, is a picture of a month of who can we get, what can we do, who can we help. Some of the things they talk about in this statement are things that of very long term. I suppose if we bought a player in January who stayed for 10, 15 years, you could look at Sven Botman as a long term purchase. But you know what I mean. Generally, this is more to do with the infrastructure, the refurbishment, and what can we try and bring to Newcastle United. So just to read the first couple of lines here, the ownership group comprising of PIF, PCP, and RB Sports and Media have invested a further 70.4 million of equity into Newcastle United. The investment brings the ownership's group's investment to over 450 million. As I say, we were celebrating the 1 year anniversary of the takeover. We were celebrating the 1 year anniversary of Eddie Howe as manager, and it's all just flown by. And you know, here we are, we're still pushing forward. The capital injection follows a wide range of investments in the club that has seen an upgrade of training facilities, the stuff I've spoken about, improvements of St James's Park, and recruitment of a number of senior executives to build out the commercial operations of the club, as well as investment in the playing squad. So the playing squad is actually mentioned there. I hadn't realised that the first time around, so it is in there. So here we come, January window. But they also touch on the recruitment of senior staff. That isn't something that I mentioned, and I've mentioned that a few times in videos. yet again, in my opinion, there was a number of job roles that were seen as probably an expense, in my opinion, to the previous ownership. Now, these are the job roles that are popping up. Darren Neal, CEO, comes in. Dan Ashworth's coming in. And there's loads of jobs. We've spoken on these videos about data analysts coming in. All sorts of things that were not looked at previously are being looked at now. And it's not just the players' wages that are going up. The list of people who are bringing in are going up. The new commercial director that were brought in to really try and help push the commercial revenues of the club. I mean, that guy's getting paid as well. And I've no doubt his team of, 4 or 5 people could well be 20, 30, 50 in the next couple of years. So that needs to be paid for as well. Further investment is expected, which reflects the ownership group's long-term commitments of Newcastle United. We've spoken about that. These are long-term goals that we are looking to try and achieve here. And then Darren Neal's had something to say as well. He said that we are at the beginning of a long-term plan that aims to build a club that can compete consistently at the highest levels of English and European football. I mean, that sounds pretty good so far. I think we can all agree. We need to develop the whole business as well as the playing squad, which is very right. We need to do so while adhering to financial fair play. So he's trying to bring it down a notch there. Let's not get too carried away. This additional investment further enables us to continue implementing the business plan. So there you go. That is from Darren Neal's. Obviously a big lift. He's touching on a few of the things that we've already spoken about in this video. I think he's purposely saying that it's for the business as a whole, not just the playing squad. As I say, it would be lovely to see us spend a little bit of money this January window, but he's also saying that, by the way, just because we're investing 70 million doesn't mean that we are now going to spend 70 million this January window. Who knows, maybe we will, and maybe we won't. That's why he's talking about the financial fair play. But I think the big thing here is it's just showing that this long-term plan, this plan that we are trying to execute at the club right now, is in full flow, and that the owners aren't scared to dig in and give more when it's needed. As I say, we've spoken about in this video about some of the changes that have come to St James's Park, the training ground. We all want to see this new high-in-the-sky, state-of-the-art training ground to be built somewhere that I hope to do more videos on. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to do so. Look out for them. And that's where this kind of investment is going. And as he mentions, the day-to-day running of things as well. The extra things that we are seeing at St James's Park. Even like things as small as the portable beer taps in the at the half-time. I mean, they're having to pay somebody else to come and do that. They're having to pay somebody to bring the kegs in. Like, all of these things are just little day-to-day things that you don't really think of, but it improves my experience at the ground. And those are the little details that these guys are looking into to try and bring to the fans, to try and, it's about the football on the pitch, but there's so much of it as well. And this is great to see. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on the further £70 million investment. What would you like to see it spent on? That's the question. Let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.